Well, I'm so excited, you guys. I got my topiary table that I bought at Antique Avenue Market last week. I'll put a video up above so you can see where I purchased it. I think I am absolutely going to love it. My sweet friend Roger loaded it onto his truck and brought it to me yesterday. So right now it's just kind of free form. It's standing here, but this is what I'm going to do with it, you guys. I am going to display all of my topiaries on it. So this is my question of the day for you. How do you guys, if you are into topiary, how do you display them both inside and outside? And if you want to tell me what kind of topiaries you grow, that would be great too. So like I say, this is just here temporarily because it was just offloaded. I'm going to show you where I'm going to put it in the garden right now, which might also be a temporary location because I'm doing lots of zhuzhing, switching around, moving furniture, getting rid of pots, bringing in some new plants, all sorts of stuff to get the garden ready for fall. So let me show you where it's going to live, at least at this point in time. Well, I'm trying to school Goose in the fine art of topiary display. So I moved this table into, Stuart thought that was pretty funny, into the flower bed. Now, it's probably not going to stay here, but right now lots of work is going on, lots of things are getting cut back, and this is a place that's in pretty much full sun. So moment for the moment, it is going to stay in here. And you can see it's got two tiers. There's an upper tier and there's a lower tier. Now, a couple of things about displaying your topiaries, and I would love your guys' input on any or all of this. You'll notice that in my containers, I've stayed to a pretty tight aesthetic. So all of my containers are pretty much either in this brown Italian terracotta, which I am so trying to nurture right now, and cultivate this beautiful moss on them. And I'll show you how I'm doing that in a moment. But I really am trying to get these very mossy. You can see that this one is rather new, and this one is already starting to get this fabulous antique Old English patina that I love so much. So I've got them in a brown Italian terracotta, and I've got them in just basic terracotta. I've got them in multiple sizes of regular terracotta pots you could get from anywhere. And then I've got these small hedges. This is the smaller of the small hedge. I've got another longer one that's a triple play with 3 of these myrtle compactas in it. And what I like about these is that they make tiny little hedges, tiny little evergreen hedges. Now, someone asked me, am I going to divide these later and separate them? And no, because I really like the look, the rectilinear look of a little hedge. These obviously need pruning. These all need pruning. But I think some of you, I may have told you that my husband had knee replacement surgery day before yesterday, so that's kind of taken a priority. My husband says he should take priority over my topiary, so I guess that's a good thing. So that's one thing. I try for the most part to not go wild with all of the different types of containers that I use for my topiaries when they are going to be aggregated together here as a topiary collection. You'll notice a couple of other things. Now again, I just threw this together. It's not artistically displayed. It's not garden tour ready by any means, but I've done a couple of things. Some of them I have elevated on plant stands so that not only is there an elevation height in the size of the pots, but then these old metal plant stands, which is one of the fun things that I like to look for when I go thrifting, those can elevate some of them. And then you can see that they all have pretty much the same type of gravel on them. So once I get them all primped and pretty, I will let you know what they look like. Now, something else. These are all just kind of crowded together, and there will be more or less of them after I have them adequately staged. But I want to show you something, because you all know that I'm a huge fan of negative space and what negative space can do in a garden. So if you look at these right now, I mean, it looks okay, it looks pretty, but it looks too dense. It looks there's just too much. You can't see the beautiful size, shape, and form of each individual specimen. However, when I remove some of them, then immediately you can see how that negative space creates a void around them so that you can see their different shape and form. Can you see that, Stuart? And so that is one thing to take into account, whether you're displaying them together or you are displaying them on a small table, inside or out, because all of these in my topiary collection, they're constantly on rotation. They're constantly on rotation in and out. I have some in small pots that are small tables that are around the garden, again, inside and out. But when you isolate them so that you can see the silhouette and the contours of the pot and the plant, let me do this. This is probably would be a better example. Then you can see how by taking away plants around it, then you can get the full silhouette and shape of the plant itself. So while I want them to be together, I don't want them to be too congested together. And I like the look as an assemblage, as an assortment, as a collection, but I also like to use them individually. What this is will just be kind of a place where I can have them all together instead of on multiple. Right now, to get them adequate sun, I've got them just located hodgepodge all around the garden so that they can take advantage of this late summer sun before they have to go inside for the winter. This way, when they're not placed artistically, I just have a spot where I can stage them as they move in and about the garden. This table needs a little bit of work. I'll address that a little bit later, but you can see, wouldn't it be fun to also have some topiaries up here, but then also some blooming plants, maybe some of my geraniums in tandem with the topiaries, maybe something fallish that I might want to use on here as a display. I might put some pumpkins on here to deck it out for fall, but I think it'll be really beautiful. Something else that you guys have asked me about, and I will do a video on it at some point, and that is how I created these little mini espaliers. And I really just did these with some of the small stakes that come in orchids when you get them, and then I save them, and I've just trained, this is actually just one plant that I've trained up along in here, and then I've used these tiny little clips. Someone told me, and if it was you, let me know, that these are called orchid clips, these tiny little orchid clips. And you can see I need to put another one here. And when these are all very, very pruned, it looks very neat and tidy, and it will fill out even more. This one is just 2 years old. I just potted this one up last year. And every time I see this one, it reminds me, don't know why, it reminds me of Peter Pan because of the scaffolding on a pirate ship. So it reminds me of Peter Pan, and I've got a couple of other ones that are in different shapes, but I'll show you how I did this a little bit later. So as you continue to work with your topiary, you might want to explore different shapes. I think I've told you that I'm really into this tight conical form right now. At Christmas time, I think these are going to be wonderful, and I love the way they look all together. And this one has a little bit of a bare side still, so I'll make sure that that side gets the most exposure. I will rotate it so it gets the most sun. I'm going to feed these pretty heavily still because there's pretty much of the growing season left, and I want them to really fill out and put on as much size and girth as possible before I have them ready for the holidays. So there you go. There's a little topiary tour and a few hints on topiary display and staging. Make sure to comment below on how you stage yours. Well, as always, the best part of my outfit is Goose, and we only have Goose for a couple more days because she goes home on Sunday, and I can't tell you how sad that makes me. But here's my outfit du jour in case you hung on for this long. If you're not interested, just skip to the next video. But if you are, here's my ensemble for today. My hat comes from a thrift store someplace outside of Santa Fe. I can't remember exactly. The little pins on it were gifted to me by my friend Jan Nadine of Hungry Holler on Instagram. Love that girl. She made these out of bottle caps, and I just kind of like the vibe to them. This is a great lightweight hat, and Stuart, can you see? It's got a long braided strap on it, so I can wear it around my neck if I need to on windy days. My t-shirt is a Creative Mornings t-shirt. If you're not familiar with Creative Mornings, I will try to put a link below so you can learn about them. They are all over the country, and you just register. Stuart, are they free? I can't remember. I think they're free, and you just register. Most of them in Oklahoma City or downtown. They're in really cool locations, and it's just where a bunch of creatives get together to listen to a speaker who is talking about the creator industry, PR, advertising, photography, art. What else am I missing, Stuart? Just, yeah, all kind of creative enterprises, photography. It's really fun, and again, they're all over the country. So you might want to check that out, and I got this t-shirt there. My breeches are as old as the hills. I can't remember where I got them, maybe someplace like Old Navy or something like that. I'm not really sure the Gap. My shoes are Vans, and I love Vans, and I've had these for years. They're especially good during football season because they're Sooner red. They're comfortable. They're great walking shoes. And let's see, my earrings I have worn before. They are real turquoise and silver, and these are part of the Lucky line, and I got these at TJ Maxx. So there you go. There is your fashion ensemble for today.